that, we'll stop talking and we will take comments and questions. Yes, ma'am.
I have 2 questions. I don't understand, of course I'm from California, but I don't understand how they can be planning this and budgeting for it if they haven't had an environmental impact statement yet. And then the 2 is, I think when you and I talked on the phone, you said that the Horizon Drive business owners helped fund that interchange. Did you confirm that, or?
Yeah, so there is a Horizon Drive Business District that imposes fees, right, on the businesses there to help with the development of that. Do I have that correctly? I'm looking at Dennis to make sure I've got that
I'm
right.
on that board, and they mainly take care of the existing stuff there. And I don't believe that they did any significant contribution to the actual construction of the roundabouts and the rest of that work that went on there. I think it was done a lot with state money, federal money, which was a different situation than we have here, where the state and feds, when they did Horizon Drive, saw a lot of benefit to the transportation system. But in the 29 road, there's a one entity that owns 220 acres just north of the interstate, and I think we can all picture big box stores, you know, a big shopping center out there, some people making tons of money who are not contributing to what's going on now. But the Horizon Drive Business District is mostly involved with just making sure that signs are up and those kinds of things work. And they welcome people who come in, that kind of thing.
What about the downtown, Dennis, the downtown business district?
I'm not as familiar with that one, but they have what's called a TIF, which is a sharing of property tax and sales tax that go to the DEA downtown. And they're supposed to be doing infrastructure downtown, and they've kind of branched out. They did all that work to get infrastructure in on Maine and Colorado, and now they're looking more like down by the river and that kind of thing.
But they contributed. The businesses
Yeah, the
contributed.
business contributor.
Yeah, so the Horizon Drive Business District helps contribute to like maintenance of Horizon Drive and such, like signs and,
Yeah, and the side roads,
Landscaping and
putting
everything.
sidewalks, that kind of thing.
okay. Is there any such business district for 29 Road that'll help with maintenance on 29 Road? Because that 173 billion doesn't include any maintenance, does it?
It doesn't even include running water and sewer and frontage roads and stuff like that out there, right? That's going to be a whole another cost that's going to have to be paid for somehow.
Second question, or actually your first question.
Environmental impact statement, how can they?
So my understanding is that is underway,
Okay.
but they've gone ahead to the voters before we know the results of it.
Wow.
I want to stand up. A couple things. First of all, I want to recognize that we have media attending, and I'm glad that they're here to at least monitor and document what's being said here, because I think it's an important issue. I think it's a underreported as well as a just what I would call a selective reported topic with regards to our voting action here. That said, a couple of things. One is, why is it not that this motivation to expand and develop a significant property in Mesa County has not been subjected to the consideration of a possible toll road or toll avenue through this, as opposed to just having the local governments finance it? I think selecting a private enterprise might be an option, and I don't think that that's actually been considered. Can the representatives or people that are in this area that are actually involved in political action or actual political representation have not been able to, I guess, offer that as a opportunity or a potentiality. I guess the other thing is, I really love the fact that the NEPA/environmental impact statement has not been provided, as well as could you talk about the new or recent changes in the SLS, the systems level analysis or summary of this whole project? It seems like we're kind of in the dark with regards to what's going on with that, and whether the interpretation / public exposure of what's going on with that has not been really fully distributed to the public. Thank you, Carrie.
So I will, as for the first, the toll road potential, I know nothing about that. I'm not, we can let somebody else try to answer that. But
It's just the beer talking, Carrie.
but regarding the system level study, so the system level study is always something that's ongoing. It's kind of a living document. And so yes, they're in another, amendment or version of it now. They're working on it. And that's actually where that front page of the Daily Sentinel came out. I will say I just talked today with the project team, and it was confirmed. So the front page of the Daily Sentinel said that crashes decrease. It says the number of crashes decrease, and that is false. And that was confirmed today by the project team.
Has the paper issued a retract?
I'm not sure if they're
It's a headline.
I'm not sure if they're going to issue a retraction. I have asked to be updated on what might come out of that. I was told that likely there will be a follow-up story.
Okay.
And that maybe is even too wishy-washy. Like, I believe that there will be a follow-up story. I don't know about the retraction. So they're doing, so because the SLS is ongoing, the project is ongoing, we're still very much in the preliminary stages of this. I actually also learned today that the intersection of Patterson, in the drawings of the project scope, the intersection of Patterson and 29 Road is in there. It has lines on it, and the only reason you have lines on it is if you have changed something in the system, and that's not the case. So the intersection of Patterson is not even included here. And the intersection of Patterson can't accommodate what's happening. And so, and they believe, my understanding of what they believe is that an intersection is a huge cost, right? I mean, just think about First and Grand. It's a bigger intersection, but still, it's a huge cost.
Right.
And they believe that it'll be okay.
Organically.
Yeah,
Very
and they
good.
acknowledge that this project can't continue without it, but it's not currently part of the project scope. And so, but I don't understand that to be included in the upcoming version of the SLS, the system level study. That the new safety analysis will be, as I understand it, updated. And the new safety analysis, if you read that article, it really didn't clarify what was happening. What's happening is that instead of just looking at a couple of segments and intersections, they're looking more broadly at the whole study area. And so of course that they found that crashes increase even more than we already understand. But the way that they're looking at it is, so crashes increase, period. They increase more than we understand, period. We're driving more miles, period. That's bad and bad. Crashes are bad, more miles are bad. For some reason, we keep talking about more miles being a good thing, and it's not. CDOT doesn't view it as a good thing. It's not a good thing. Driving more miles is exactly what we're trying to avoid. CDOT's initiatives try to help us avoid more vehicle miles traveled. It's shrouded in reducing greenhouse gases, but that works if you're actually decreasing greenhouse gases. It doesn't work if everybody's just driving more. So more crashes bad, greenhouse gases, or vehicle miles traveled bad. The two things together, if you divide one thing by another, one bad thing by another bad thing, that's not a good thing, okay? But we are diluting those crashes by all the new vehicle miles traveled. And so if you're looking at the rate of crash per mile traveled, they're saying that does go down.
scandalized.
Well, no, there's statistics, that,
Right?
I didn't say.
I know you did. I think this is from the peanut gallery.
So, so it's quite problematic. It's quite problematic. But I think that that's what happened in that article. I think it was just I don't speak for them. I don't know what happened, but it
Sure.
seems based on like what I understand now, based on a meeting I had today with the consultant and personnel, staff personnel, I believe that it was probably just a misunderstanding by the reporter, by a large front page misunderstanding where the conclusions are the
I
opposite.
think it's worthy of a retraction or at least a restatement.
Yeah, I asked for.
That's it. So no follow-ups. Thank you so much.
May I follow?
Yeah,
up?
so my layman's version of what Gary said is they're drawing a bigger circle in order to make the numbers look better. The problem will be that the State Transportation Commission passed a regulation several years ago that said greenhouse gases must go down with projects. You're now drawing a bigger circle, more lane miles. Now you got a problem with CDOT. So it's going to be interesting how they try and finesse this because you can't have it both ways.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'd like to expound on the comment, please. I live in the area. Well, we do. There are 4 more developments going on because we live on Alvarez and 29. There's 150 homes going right behind us on 29 and a half. There's 3 more developments, okay? Let's just call it 200, 250 new homes.
That's Benita, right?
No, it's on the other side.
You're up, all the way up? Okay.
Yeah,
So
we're further up.
Up by the highway.
Oh, I see.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All I'm asking, it's tough to get out of there now, okay? And 29 and a half road. Oh, let me mention one more thing. I saw the plan because we were at an elementary school a couple months ago. They're going to close off Alvarez Road, Arabesque Road. I asked them, what about safety? We had an incident in our house, a medical incident, 4 minutes from fire station number 2. You're going to put a roundabout in there? He told me, well, they can go through residential areas. This is a guy named Cody Kennedy or something. And I'm going, that's going to add another 4 minutes to get to my house. My point being, you're going to add another 200, maybe more homes, 2 cars per. And 29 and a half road in G is a 2-lane paved dirt road.
Right, it's a country road.
How are you? It's become, it's just not feasible. Okay, for the residents and the new residents, okay, we get tax money. I get it. You're all about the development. My God, man, help me. That's all I ask.
It's not.
To your point.
Yeah, I just wanted to look up where exactly that was. So other residents, even that you can see here, like look at Hermosa Court. So you're just north of this a little bit. So even Hermosa Court cannot get out. They're trapped. And they're going to be crossing an arterial that might even be restricted. They might not even be. So, for people, for example, on Hermosa, a solution might be that they have to get out on 29 Road, go north, go around the roundabout to go south. For folks like you, there's gonna have to be another solution. Is it gonna be convenient? I don't know, but because there's no plan for that yet. But regardless, I think that your voice is so critical, and I think that all the people who are gonna be stuck and trapped by this project, I think hearing those voices is gonna be really critical. And it's a totally valid concern that usually has to be designed. Like there has to be a solution for homeowners who are now lane restricted.
Well, it's the Colorado state law is that every subdivision has to have at least 2 exits, and they want to block up Arabesque. I'm sorry.
We get it.
Okay. The only exit we'll have is on G Street.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
blind
it.
corner.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
is a-
two blind corners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even legal, to be honest with you.
So I think unfortunately for you guys, there's like a mile-long route all the way over to Clover Glen, which might get you out. So I think technically they might be able to say you have 2 exits, and that's probably why they're trying
That's
to.
what Cody Kennedy said. Good luck.
I know, I'm so sorry.
So we're virtually stuck at 8 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon because of the academy.
Yeah,
And then there's a Christian school down here.
yeah.
From that time, you can't get in and out. You have to go to 29 and a half to get to the house.
And you're gonna have to annex to the new community center right between them.
I know,
Oh, let's have 18-wheelers just go down that road.
I know.
Yeah, and, you know, how many before the first?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I was gonna ask, when they proposed all, I know this is a very old plan, like 40 years old or something, am I correct?
I think it's older than that.
Okay,
Yeah.
but have they ever looked at that intersection of Patterson and 29 and how much that's gonna cost? I mean, you're talking about turning lanes and all of that kind
No,
of
it's
thing.
not